presentation from the Old Reading Ensign's Association, and the President, Mr. Ken Brown, will explain to you how you can take part in a fantastic scheme that's given over £50,000 in the last few years to students of Reading School. It's the 2013 Enterprise Award. But before that, I need to make a presentation. If you remember, last week there was the conundrum in chapel, and after the first few days I stood up and said, I'm a bit confused by this, I want the answer, and there will be a prize, and I sent an email to the person that there will be a prize to the people that came up with the first correct answer. And I won't go into what the correct answer was, but maybe we will publish that. I'll publish that in my newsletter today. But there were joint winners from Schoolhouse, Tom Gavin and Charlie Buckman. So well done on that. Very much conundrum. The answer was about epiphany, aspects of enlightenment, and it was difficult, but you cracked it, and you were the first to do that, so well done. Also at the Schoolhouse, Matthew Greaves, you were next, but there weren't no prizes for coming second or third, you know that. So, Mr. Brown.
Good morning, Schoolhouse. Guest house, the Harpies. I'd like to introduce my colleagues, Michael Moore, who is past president of the LR Association, and Christopher Widdows, who's the membership secretary. When the time comes for all of you to leave school, we hope you'll join the LR Association. It exists to keep in touch and to help each other and to help the school. Amongst other things, the association provides enterprise awards each year, and since the scheme started, we have given over £50,000 towards these projects. It's open to years 7 to 13 inclusive, in other words, all here. So what is the scheme? Many of you will know already. For those who don't, we award money for individual, sometimes group, enterprises, your enterprises. If you have a project you want to pursue and need funds, we can perhaps help you with finance. But to obtain our money, you need to go through a process of application, either written or online. And this will need the approval and signature of your parents. And we give a grant, not a gift. Typically it amounts up to £500, perhaps a little more if we think it is really justified. But those amounts, that is the limit. And in any case, we don't fund more than half the total cost of whatever your project may be. So you have to tell us how you're raising the other half of that money, and you also have to give us a breakdown of how you costed your project. No good plucking a figure from the air, or indeed just saying mum or dad will say. What kind of project is acceptable to us? Well, really it might be anything, so don't think that whatever your particular interests are would not interest us. The only limitation is your own imagination. Regard it as a challenge. If you saw the screen a little bit earlier, you will have seen some of the awards made in the last year or two. Broadly, the headings now on the screen cover most activities. But for your information, let's look at a few for last year. Just look at the headings. Sport is a fairly obvious one, but it's to take you to a new level if you want extra experience. Most of these things are to do with self-development. Gap year projects. Almost anything there, provided it's not a jolly. All these things have to be something which are going to enhance your experience and your prospects. Last year, what did we have? Camping, bushcraft, CCF leadership, first aid skills, Somebody built a go-kart, others built a hovercraft, constructing a model UAV airplane, National Youth Theatre workshop, great leadership courses, building a wind turbine. There were lots over the last few years of visits to Africa. A number of people used to go to the Grace School, which some of you know about. South America, third world countries helping generally. Building a solar oven, that was a good one. A green issue. Schoolhouse, Changi Law, Outward Bound Youth Adventure Award. Matthew O, he went on the Greek Leaders course. I think it was an application from some schoolhouse boys to run a football tournament. It didn't come off. When these things fail, you either return the money or you can always have another go. In other words, anything within reason, and we have to determine who gets an award. How do we do that? The quality of your application and how you express yourself is absolutely vital. The whole process is a learning curve for you. When you go to university, if you do, or if you apply for a job, you'll always be required to give a CV. It becomes more and more important in this world. And applications of this sort will help. If you can put on your CV that you've used your own initiative in the past and you've been rewarded for it, that'll be a positive help in what's going to be a competitive situation for all. We give you a certificate to back it up. Now, what is the procedure if you do decide you want to apply for an award? Your application needs to be submitted to Miss Greeny by 16th of April this year. The applications will then be assessed by the headmaster and by the captain of the school, and then separately by an OR panel. And if your application is approved, in May you will receive a cheque. Now, when you've completed your project, and completion will depend on the time scale that you have given us. So it may not be something which just happens in the next school holidays or whatever. When you've completed it, you need to give us a written and detailed report. That's vital. Some of them we put in our magazine, the Old Reading gets in. If you don't abide by the terms on which you've been given the money, you'll be asked to repay it, which is not unreasonable, is it? It won't be the case if, for instance, you had a chemical project and found it's just not achievable for understandable reasons. It's a case of making the effort. If you've applied before, and if you've been rejected or if you've been accepted, you're totally welcome to apply again. So, if you think you would like to apply, talk it over with your friends, particularly if you want to carry out the project with friends. And that doesn't have to be limited to boys in your own house or even of your own age. Talk to your tutor, talk to the school's enterprise links, who are Miss Greeny and Mr. Hussain, and then go for it. But do bear in mind, we will require a well-presented and well-argued case. Remember, we want to help you. We want to reward initiative. So good luck if you decide to have a go. Now finally, I'm going to ask Michael Moore if he wishes to add anything. Michael is our awards guru. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask him. Thank you all.
First of all, good morning, everybody. Okay, just to add a little bit more of a dimension to this, the Enterprise Awards applications is open for any age group. Last year, we had a really good response from then the Year 7 group, who are now obviously Year 8. And what we'd like to do is to see some activity from the Year 7 guys. And it is open to all age groups, and it is also open for somebody that applied last year. So if we can come up with something different, something challenging, then we're open for that. In terms of group entries, it can be a single, it can be a duo, or it can be a trio. Ideally, just keep it to 2 or 3 of you, but remember that if 2 of you are going to work together, or 3 of you are going to work together, that in itself is a challenge, because you've got to harness the team effort and in fact try to create something which is unanimous to the trio themselves. So just be aware of that. And we work on a very, very tight time schedule. April the 16th is absolutely the final date for entry, and that's immediately after the Easter holidays. So that's got to hit us by that point. And then we, the 2 panels, work very, very tightly on making sure that we deliver the result, the assessment, the final assessment, by May the 7th. Also, another thing is, online, that SharePoint, through your website, you'll get all of the application details and the format for the applications. We will look very intently at how you raise that money. And it's not, as Ken has said, it's not just asking your parents or your governors for money. It's coming up with an inspired way of fundraising. It could be car cleaning, it could be at the checkout filling bags, or it could be something more theatrical than that. So field any difficult question you like on the subject of Enterprise Awards 2013.
Obviously, the explanation
must
is very
be
clear.
very clear.
Thank you, Mike. Mrs. Green, are there any councillors? No. Okay, so thank you very much, gentlemen. Year 11, good luck next week with your mock examinations. Thank you. Lead off in the back.
Would you like to say a few words to camera and stuff?
Not particularly. Well, I'll do that. Tell me when you're rolling.
Oh, rolling.
Okay, well, on behalf of what is now known as the Guru of the Enterprise Award Scheme, I'd like to thank Messrs. Parsons, immediate past president and current president, Ken Brown, and also Chris on camera for their very serious contribution. And now...
Thank you very much, Mr. Moore. Right.